Alright, guys, it is Slashback Saturday, and the theme that Joe the Horror Man has set for this week is factual slashers. Now, that's slasher films that are based on true events, either the characters or the actual event. And the film I've chosen to review this week is 2006's Karla. Now, this one is based on the Ken and Barbie murders. This was a big deal in my home province of Ontario back in the early 90s. Um, Essentially, we had a young couple, Carla Homolka and Paul Bernardo, who were capturing and murdering young girls. And that's essentially it. This thing was quite salacious, and the Americans, they really ate this up. They're the ones that dubbed it the Ken and Barbie murders. The Canadians, however, were horrified. I first heard about this thing through the controversy with one of those tabloid TV shows like Inside Edition or something like that, where they wanted to do a story and the government of Ontario was trying to block it from airing in Canada because the trial was getting ready to happen. Now, my wife, she knew some people who lived around the street from Parbanano and Karla Homolka. Um, all right, let me get into the movie here. Now, this film is basically based around Karla Homolka's character. Like, she's already been captured, and she's up for early release, and she's talking to this doctor about what happened, and that's the framing device for this movie. So this film stars, let me see here if I get the names right. Laura Papron from that '70s show, and Misha Collins from Supernatural. He plays Castiel. And she was still doing that '70s show when she did this. In fact, she was a redhead on the show until the last couple seasons where she had to dye her hair for this movie. So if you're a big fan of that '70s show, that's why she's blonde in the last two seasons. This film came out a couple years after Monster. And I'm pretty sure that Laurie Papron thought that this was going to be her Monster and she was going to get an Oscar nod for this, like Charlize Theron did. But this film ended up not really doing anything. It was funny when this film came out because there was a huge controversy again in Ontario, and one of the Parliament members was trying to get the film banned uh, from playing at all in Canada, and it did get banned from playing the Montreal Film Festival back around 2005, I guess. Um, Now, the thing about this film is they could have went two ways with it. They could have went straight through with a docudrama, or they could have went and just did a based upon thing, like kind of like Psycho or Texas Chainsaw Massacre or something like that. And they decided to go the docudrama, which is actually kind of unfortunate because this is a really sleazy and unfortunate story since it was young girls that were being abducted, raped, and murdered. And to make matters worse, they were videotaping the murders. Um, so this film is told from Karla Homolka's point of view, and and I guess as a structure it's okay, but I wish they'd actually had divorced themselves a little bit from the source material. Apparently, Misha Collins regrets making this movie. He talked to one of the victims that escaped, and ever since then he's really regretted it. And whenever he's at a convention, usually talking about Supernatural, somebody will bring up the movie, and he'll plead with them not to watch the movie. Um, Now the film is done as tasteful as it could be, but it's still probably a little too sleazy for me since it's pretty much telling what really happened. Like it's the stuff with the video camera and stuff with her sister and stuff like that. It's um, it's a really nasty story, and it's not really you know. I kind of wish they'd made this film like something along the lines of like something like Wolf Creek as opposed to doing a verbatim what actually happened in this case. I guess they tore the house down like in Scarborough, Ontario. So at least there's that. I really can't recommend this movie. It's just weird because I think the filmmakers originally wanted to make like their version of Monster, but this is something more along the lines to like the BTK killer movies or the Dahmer movies or the John Wayne Gacy movies. I could almost see this like they have those serial killer packs where they put the movies together, and I could almost see this being like that. This film isn't really a bad film, and there's a couple scenes that are kind of amusing because of the campiness of them. Like not the murder scenes, but there's other scenes where Misha Collins is just being an asshole, and it's actually quite amusing. But other than that, like I really can't recommend this film. I didn't really feel good watching it. Didn't feel good after it. Um, so I don't know. So that's a review for Karla. And be sure to check out Joe's reviews as well as Jade and everybody else's. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll talk to you all later.